going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. So there is a coin that is not on mining pool stats. There is a coin that is totally centralized, that they control every aspect of it. And GPUs were mining it with 5090s upwards of over $9 a day. We've done multiple videos on it in the past, and that coin is in it first. Let's take a look at what's going on. All right, so we're going to start right here in the guy's GitHub. So I'm not going to mention his name yet because I don't know if he wants his name mentioned, because he might get banned from their Discord and things like that. But he worked out a way to mine it on GPUs. But anyway, here is the information provided that, it's showing a lot of bad things going on. So I'd like to share some things interesting that Big Evil Solo Miner, K1 Pool, Rabid, and I, along with others not mentioned here, discovered together in the experience we went through together. So let's just start with the K1 Pool thing. This reverts back to my previous video when I did this a few weeks back, maybe it was a month back. But here we can see on December 18th, K1 Pool added INI to their mining pool for both GPUs and CPUs, PPLNS, and solo modes available. And it didn't take very long after, but up here we can see now on the 22nd, so 18 to the 22nd, they already closed it down due to a scam. So the Initverse INI mining pool has been fully shut down. Blocks from non-whitelisted wallets are rejected. Whitelisted wallets mine at 500x lower difficulty than everybody else, which pretty much saying if you're not mining the way they want you to mine, you are going to be stuck at a much higher difficulty. You're going to have hardly any hash rate, find hardly any blocks. They limit you 100%. And what I mean by this, the way they want you to mine is purchase their ASICs. INI is the one who has the Matches INI box, which is the currently top miner out there. More on this later on. So continuing on here, this is a clear manipulation of the network and mining process. Fake project activity, Discord inflated member count, Telegram inflated subscribers, AI bots talking to each other. The team is ignoring all inquiries. Questions to exchanges: why are coins like this still listed? We strongly recommend staying away from the Initverse INI. The project shows all signs of a scam. So this is what K1 Pool has been putting out there for, since December 22nd. So in my previous video, I did point out that we thought they were using older Bitcoin mining chips and just recycling them and things like that. So I guess that's not entirely the case, unless they're doing that on Nexa. I don't know. But here we can see there's a crypto project called Initverse with its coin named INI. They claim to use a self-developed Versa hash here, algo, but that is not true. In fact, the algo they are using is Nexa POW. Nexa coin, guys. They only modified the mining pool protocol to prevent us from directly submitting shares using Nexa miners. So it is possible to build an adapter layer that shows us to mine INI using Nexa POW. We can use software like Regal to mine INI with each 1000 megahash of Nexa POW hash rate yielding about $25.2 per day. So GPUs were very profitable on this once they figured out how to get it done. I don't really want to put in all the information here of how they did that, because recently, as of today, everyone woke up and Yates Pool, the one pool that is mining this, banned all those addresses and whitelisted them, or blacklisted them, not whitelisted them. So everything is down. So I don't want to give away any hints and tweaks here, just in case somebody ends up finding a way to kind of fix this. But, it's being done and it's being worked on. Are you looking for ASIC miners, but just not sure who to trust? From most popular brands to best sellers to miners of the week and even deals of the moment, ASIC Mining Central has you covered to the cheapest prices out of any ASIC website, as well as import fees will be low with low tax with DDP or invoice, and code RABID will grant you an additional $50 off your order. Head on over to ASIC Mining Central today for all your ASIC mining needs. Links down in the description. Now back to our regular scheduled program. Here it says the privacy computing features Initverse claims to offer on its website, like data processing for hospitals or labs, doesn't actually exist. I've never looked into any of that to see what they claim to do or anything. As a miner, we just looked at probability, and that is it. Big Evil reviewed their code on GitHub and found that there was nothing that indicates with these features. He said the current version of Initverse is a fork of Binance Smart Chain, which itself is a fork of Ethereum. There does not seem to be anything meaningfully new, so their website and marketing comes across as very misleading. Moving into some more information here, how Initverse is centralized. So Initverse positions itself as a privacy coin. This is crossed out here with its own Verso Lash algo. We know it's copied from Nexa.Pow. It states that anyone can run a node and use GPU for mining. That's all crossed out here. Or purchase an ASIC miner called the INI box. But they control the chain. Only official wallet address can serve as nodes. And even if someone finds a block, they can't add it to the chain from K1 Pool. Moreover, the INI box is very likely a modified version of the Dragon Ball Nexa ASIC miner. They can freeze anyone's wallet by not adding transactions from blacklisted addresses into the blockchain. The GPU mining software they released operates at 1/20th of normal speed to appear different from Nexa.Pow algo. Furthermore, no matter how high your GPU hash rate is, their pool will only display a maximum of 10 megahash unless you purchase their INI box miner. They claim there was no official pre-mining, but they're mining at 500x speed, and that share is supposedly as high as 85% of all INI produced. There's a smart contract which lets them apply a mining difficulty reduction for specific addresses. They can shut down the whole network. On 2026, February 4th here, every wallet couldn't load INI balances. Miners can't connect to the pool. The official block explorer is down, and even exchanges INI chain popped up an error message. In Evil's words, they can run their network however they want. As Rabid puts it, which was me, that's the video I did breaking. INI might be a major crypto ASIC scam. And then K1 Pool would say, questions to exchanges. Why are coins like this still listed? Now, I'm not going into all the details here, but here's a breakdown of kind of what's going on in the mining algorithm. Is when connecting an INI box to Yates Pool, it sends a ping that only an INI box can decode. If the miner fails to respond with the correct pong, it will be disconnected from the pool. This prevents others from GPU mining. So without going into further details on things going on there, I'm just going to leave it at that. But we're seeing a major crypto ASIC scam where GPUs can mine this and mine this very profitably, which I hinted at, 4 or 5 days ago in, the current state of crypto mining video. But now, as of this morning, they finally blocked this. 2 days ago, the pools and everything went down. I can go into my own stats here and kind of show you. Where's my Yates Pool stuff? Oh, I don't got it here. So I'm going to come into here. I'm going to bring up my mining pool stuff. And if we look at my earnings here, we can see it dropped quite a bit right here. They shut it down right here. So in between February 25th and 26th, this is when they're detecting weird addresses coming in out of nowhere, and GPU miners were mining like crazy. So they shut it down and they started tweaking it. So all before this is actually when the GPUs are mining, and then they shut it down, and now we can see where we are right now. The other thing is, I still think they're limiting something here, because when it comes to mining profitability, mining now is correct based on difficulties and hash rates and everything. The profitabilities on mining now is pretty darn correct. But here we can see for some reason it is telling us we should be getting 201 coins. Now it dropped to 197. The other day it was 220. It's been over 200 forever. For the most part. But if I actually go into my earnings, I have not been earning anywhere near 200 coins for a long time, as we can see here. So, I don't know what's going on. It's like some hash rate is still nerfed here. Something's happening. No idea what. Again, network difficulty and things like that is really strange. But I've also been tracking the network hash rates, and it's hardly moved. But our yields from when I first got this miner has dropped over 50%, and there's hardly any extra hash rate online. An ROI video will be coming soon on my INI box miner. I'll go through all those numbers with you, but that's coming in the future. But right now, we're not getting anything we're supposed to be getting either. All right, guys. So as this is coming to light, I did get confirmation on allowing who got all this together. So the person in question who wrote this program for GPUs and cracked it into there and everything and relaying a lot of this information is none other than Hazel Meow. So now you know, if you want to talk to them or something, or come into my Discord and figure out some stuff for yourself, you can always, come in and do that. But Hazel Meow is, I guess, the whistleblower, and it says she, her, so she figured out how to do all this. So, thanks Hazel Meow for figuring all this stuff out and allowing GPUs to have a bunch of profit. Coming in a few more other things here. Here's some things from Bass from Viperpool here, but they found out some information as well. So the overall picture in their findings was the centralization is layered and deeply embedded. So number one, algorithm. Nexapow renamed to Verihash, no innovation. Number two, mining access. Controlled by the ping pong INI box authentication at the pool level, plus check valid at the consensus level. Number three, transaction censorship. Any address can be blacklisted by a single admin wallet. Four, block production, seal verification disabled in header checks, combined with the 50x reward multiplier and set valid. The operators can effectively mine at will. Number five, network access. P2P node whitelist can exclude any node from getting blocked. So that's 100% centralized. They can decide what nodes can do what. Well, we're seeing everything is centralized. Number six, single admin. So this must be their address there. Controls the blacklist contract, the miner validation, and the governance system across all networks. Everything you've been told checks out against the source code. The chain is designed from the ground up with centralized control at every layer while presenting a decentralized proof of work facade. So that's insane. All right, so as mentioned, we've been seeing INI box scam, only you can mine with this. GPUs are really good at it, but they're nerfed because of the centralization and everything. So obviously, we're seeing decent profits on the INI. Now, they're not as high as what this is saying because there's still something going on. But people are buying this due to profitability. And with all of this emerging right now, they are releasing a new miner, a big miner. Here we can see the original INI box is 850 megahash at 500 watts. They're now dropping the bomb on an INI Box Pro 2.4 gigahash for 1280. So this thing is going to be extremely profitable. The price is absolutely insane. And here it is on ASL Miner, which I will have a link down in the description if you're looking for this. I highly urge no one to get it though, because look at the price, $8,300. And here we have $2,900 on the small one. The small one is still extremely expensive for what you get. Again, I'm working on the ROI for when I got this on release day, and the numbers aren't looking too great. I will be recording that video sometime shortly here, so stay tuned for that. But here, they have a new miner coming. So now they're blocking even more addresses. They're getting worried because they're trying to release a big bad boy ASIC, which they are probably already using themselves. Again, we can't confirm that, but we know how this works in the ASIC industry. But they are releasing a new one to try and make even more money for their blockchain. So I highly urge people to stay away. But as I said, money and profitability always talk. So if you are going to buy any of these, use my links in the description, even though I urge you guys not to do so. But there's been people in Discord where we've been telling them, don't do it. They still want to buy like 10 of these. So they're still doing it. So, as much as we can say don't do it, there are people buying these. So just stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, hopefully this video brought some light to the situation that's going on with INI Box. Yes, GPUs were mining this with great profitability, but this chain is so centralized that they limited everything so bad that you have to use their ASICs in order to mine this. They are blocking all the GPUs. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button, share this video around. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. Rabid out.